We're gonna be using Coca-Cola in 21 different ways, from Coca-Cola French toast to Coca-Cola infused pickles. Starting off with Coca-Cola slush. You just take a Coca-Cola bottle like this and you violently shake it to create pressure. Once you create that pressure, we're gonna pop this into the freezer for 2.5 hours, exactly 2.5 hours. We've all had root beer float, but have you ever had Coca-Cola float? Nice scoop of vanilla ice cream. Pop that into your cup. To make it even more special, you gotta use the classic straw with the red stripe. A little shaboodle. All right, there we have Coca-Cola float. Next, we're gonna be making Coca-Cola ice pops, and it takes literally one ingredient. Just gonna close the top. If you don't have something like this, you could always just twist and attach a rubber band right there. And go ahead and pop these into the freezer until completely frozen. But luckily, I made these the night before and we don't have to wait. So let's go ahead and try this out. Oh, brain freeze. This is for all my pickle fans out there. We're gonna be making Coca-Cola infused pickles. 1 tablespoon of sugar, enough Coke to fill up the whole jar. Put on the lid and give it a slight shake. Don't go too hard with this because there's carbonation, the buildup, the house could explode. Now we pop this into the refrigerator for 24 hours. And 24 hours later, we have our infused Coca-Cola pickles. As a pickle lover, I'm excited. Oh my God, look, it changed color. Coca-Cola. Oh, 2.5 hours later, and it's ready. You're like, where's the slush, Pat? Where's the sludge? Watch this. Give it a quick shake. We all know Coke slush is amazing. So now you know how to make it perfect every single time. Turn off the camera, I'm eating the... It's embarrassing, man. Next, we're gonna be making Coke jelly. Not Jell-O, but jelly. Oh! We want it at about this level. Now we're gonna take some corn syrup. I got myself dark corn syrup so it gives it that Coca-Cola look, and just fill up the bottle all the way with that corn syrup. Gently give this a shake. Just make sure that Coca-Cola infuses with the corn syrup so you get a nice fizz when the jelly is ready. Now we just pop this in the freezer for 3 hours. 3.5 hours later, our Coke jelly is ready. And just take a look how cool this is. Oh, that's way too sweet. Next, we're gonna be making Coca-Cola syrup. And this recipe can be used for so many different dishes, but let me show you how to make it first. For this recipe, we have to use Mexican Coke because it has cane sugar and that's what turns into syrup. Now we wanna set the heat to medium-low and we wanna keep stirring until all that water evaporates and all we're left with is that Coke syrup. All right, guys, it's officially cooled down and check this out. Here we have Coca-Cola syrup. So make sure to watch till the end because the amount of things you could use this syrup on is astonishing. Now we're gonna be making some Coca-Cola bread pudding. This one's awesome. Into a bowl, I'm going in with 2 whole eggs. There's a shell in there. But you know what? I'm gonna leave it in because it gives it that extra calcium that we all need. 6 tablespoons of sugar, 1 cup of milk, about a tablespoon of that Coke syrup, and a few dashes of cinnamon. And now we just wanna give that a good whisk. Now we're gonna take some bread, and you could use any type of bread that you want. We're gonna cut this up with our fingers and just throw that into a baking dish. And now we're just gonna pour the mixture on top of that bread. And the great thing about this is you can actually smell that Coca-Cola. Woo! Now we just simply pop this into a 350-degree oven for about 45 minutes. Now we're gonna be making Coke for breakfast. What do I mean by that? We're gonna be making Coca-Cola pancakes. To make our pancake batter, it's super simple. We're going in with 1 whole egg, sugar, 1.5 tablespoons of oil, flour, baking powder, 1/2 cup of Coca-Cola. And finally, we just wanna give this a whisk. Okay, once you get that bubbly texture on top, you're ready to flip your pancakes. And of course, we have to dress up our pancake. I'm gonna top it off with a nub of butter. And instead of regular syrup, we of course have to use Coca-Cola syrup. Cheers. It tastes like Coca-Cola pancake. It's delicious. My alarm just went off. Guys, the bread pudding is ready. Some vanilla ice cream. I'm gonna drizzle some of that Coca-Cola syrup right on top. Here we have it. Coca-Cola bread pudding. Smells absolutely ridiculous. Cheers. This is dangerous because I'm about to eat this whole thing. Next on our Coca-Cola journey is Coca-Cola chicken wings. That with some pepper, 1/4 cup of soy sauce. Take your hands and give that a good mix until all the chicken wings are coated. Some cooking oil. Yeah, it might seem like a lot, but trust me, you need it. Oh boy. I'll go ahead and throw a lid on top of that. You know, we all stay safe. No one gets splashed with oil. Flip. We're gonna go in with a 4th cup of soy sauce. Yo, where's the Coke? You promised me Coke. A whole can of Coke. Yeah, boy. Now we're just gonna cook this down until the Coke and the soy sauce turn into a syrup. We have officially made Coca-Cola wings, and I'm so excited to try these. I mean, look how amazing this looks. Look at this. And there, my friends, we got ourselves Coca-Cola chicken wings. These wings look ridiculously amazing. Let me know in the comments if you guys prefer drum or flats. I'm a drum guy. Whoa, I'm not lying, this is probably the best wings I've ever had. The time has come. We are making Coca-Cola fried rice. Yes, you heard me right, Coca-Cola fried rice. To a large pan, we're gonna go in with some oil, 2 scrambled eggs, a quick stir, frozen vegetables. And then we wanna go in with 1-day-old rice. A little bit more oil here so we get that nice fried charred flavor. We're gonna add in some Coca-Cola into the mix. And about 5 minutes later, all that Coke has caramelized and we have our fried rice ready to go. Look at that. Once you got your rice packed into a ramekin cup, place a plate right on top of that. We're gonna slowly and gently just flip this over. Well, here we have it, Coca-Cola fried rice. Never thought this was even a thing until I started doing research. Cheers. There is a little bit of an aftertaste. It doesn't hit me as much as I want, but it is very sweet. Definitely a winner. This is probably one of my favorite recipes. We're making Coca-Cola Rice Krispie treats. Once that's melted down, we're gonna go in with the 4th cup of this Coca-Cola syrup. That's the consistency we're looking for. We're gonna be adding 6 cups of Rice Krispies. Beautiful. To a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, we're gonna go ahead and pour in our Rice Krispie treat. Pop this into the fridge and let this fully cool down for about 30 minutes. After about 30 minutes, our Coca-Cola Rice Krispies are officially ready. There, my friends, Coca-Cola Rice Krispie treats. The only thing that's missing for me is that fizz from that Coke, but the flavor of that Coke comes through a lot. This one's definitely a winner. The Rice Krispies were absolutely delicious, but we're gonna do something a little different now and make Coca-Cola bread. If you've never made bread before, it's quite simple. 3 1/4 cup of bread flour, 1 teaspoon of sugar, salt, 2 teaspoons of instant yeast, 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil, and of course, it wouldn't be a Coke bread without some Coca-Cola, and we're gonna go in with 1 cup of Coke. Now you gotta knead the dough, and of course you could do it by hand, but to make the process a little easier, I'm gonna be using a stand mixer. After about 10 minutes, it should be soft. So all I'm doing is just tucking and pulling. That's all we're doing right here. Now we want to take the dough ball, place it back into the bowl, cover this, and let this sit at room temperature for about 1.5 hours. All right, with the rolling pin, I'm gonna roll it out until I get a nice rectangular shape. Now I'm gonna roll this up into a bread loaf shape. We're just gonna pinch the seam. The sides here, same thing, pinch. Throw that into a bread loaf pan. Cover this with a damp towel and let this sit for about 45 minutes to an hour. You know, all this Coca-Cola cooking is making me tired. So we're gonna be making Coca-Cola coffee. And we're not making any ordinary coffee. No, that's not us. You see, these days, I'm a bit of a coffee connoisseur. And that's why I've partnered with Trade Coffee, the sponsor of today's video. Trade Coffee hooks you up with top-notch coffee that's perfectly matched to your taste. Roasted to order and sent straight from America's elite independent roasters, who know it's good when it comes right from the source. I've been brewing Trade Selection for a month now, and seriously, the flavors are just unmatched. Every sip makes me grateful that I could enjoy cafe quality coffee at home, and you know what? You can too. It's actually super simple. You don't need like a fancy French press or the state-of-the-art espresso machine. Upgrading to Trade Coffee alone means you're instantly elevating your coffee game. Seriously though, they're really thoughtful about how they curate their coffee. Yesterday, I brewed a batch from this tiny roaster in Oakland, and today we're brewing something bold from a roaster in Long Island, New York. Yo, shout out to all the homies in Long Island. Trade partners with the best roasters from cozy towns across the United States. Imagine the hidden gems they're curating for us. Over 435,000 coffee lovers have already upgraded their brew game with Trade. Like many of you, I love creating memories with my family and friends over a hot cup of joe. And now I'm even more eager to do that because I get to show off my awesome coffee selection. Hey camera guy, you want a coffee from the Bay Area or New York?
Let me get that Long Island.
All right, I got you. Don't settle for okay coffee. Head to drinktrade.com/PatrickZ to receive your first bag for free. That's drinktrade.com/PatrickZ to get your first bag free with any new subscription. Thank you, Trade Coffee. Now let's make that Coca-Cola coffee. Into a cocktail mixer, we're going in about half a cup of coffee, 1 to 2 tablespoons of Coca-Cola syrup. I'll go about 2 because, I like my coffee sweet. And just like any good cocktail, cover the top and shake this baby up. How many drinks you got? 4? I got you. And then we're gonna pour that into our favorite mug. There, my friends, we have Coca-Cola coffee. I'm not just saying that. You guys gotta try this. This is amazing. 45 minutes later, you guys could see that this has really risen. All I'm gonna do is just brush the top with some egg wash. 350-degree oven for 30 minutes. Guess what, guys? The bread is officially ready. Let's just appreciate how beautiful this looks. It smells like Coca-Cola. Cheers. There's literally fizz in this bread. You have that caramelization of the Coke. This is crazy. I know we made Coca-Cola pancakes, but I'm not really a pancake guy. I'm more of a French toast guy. So we're gonna be making Coca-Cola French toast. First things first, we're gonna go in with 2 whole eggs into a bowl, a 1/4 cup of milk, a 1/4 cup of Coca-Cola. Just add in some cinnamon. Now we're gonna take some brioche bread and dip it into our Coca-Cola French toast dip. Now we're just gonna fry this up. I know you're probably thinking it's a lot of oil, but this is how they make it at restaurants, so don't question the oil. And any good French toast comes with powdered sugar, Coca-Cola syrup. Here we have it, Coca-Cola French toast. Go ahead and give this a shot. Oh my goodness. This is delicious. I love this one. Guys, the time has come. We are making Coca-Cola cake, and I am ecstatic. To a bowl, I'm going in with a 1/4 cup of cacao powder, 2 sticks of butter, and 1 cup of Coca-Cola. Now we're popping this into the microwave for 1 minute until the butter melts. Into a separate bowl, we're gonna go in with 2 cups of self-rising flour, 2 cups of sugar, 2 whole eggs, and 1/2 cup of buttermilk. While whisking, I'm gonna go ahead and add in that Coke mixture. We're gonna do this slowly so we don't cook the eggs. Add the whole thing, whatever, let's go. Come on, guys. It smells like chocolate Coke. We're gonna pop this into a 350-degree oven for about 30 to 35 minutes. While we wait for that to bake, we're gonna be making the Coca-Cola frosting to put on top of the cake. 3 cups of powdered sugar, 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, Coca-Cola, and 1 whole stick of melted butter. My whole house smells like Coke, and I think the cake's ready. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, while it's still hot, we wanna go ahead and add our Coca-Cola frosting right on top of our cake. The final thing I'm gonna do is just dust the top with some powdered sugar. And we have this like brownie texture on top. Let's go ahead and dive in and see what this tastes like. Cheers. Some of the other recipes, I feel like the Coke taste was too powerful, but this is so well balanced and delicious. Next, we're gonna be making Coke Jello. This one's a super fun one to make, and it's pretty easy. All we have to do is take 8 packets of gelatin, and we're gonna toss that into a bowl. We're gonna be adding about 1/2 cup of water. Pop this into the microwave for only 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, take the gelatin out. It should look liquidy like that. Now we're gonna pour this into the bowl with our Coca-Cola. Run this through a strainer to get rid of any lumps. Take the big bowl, and into that, we're gonna pour in a whole bottle of the Coca-Cola in these plastic bottles. Carefully remove that label, and then save this label because we're gonna use it after it's done. An X-Acto knife, cut a slit on the side of the bottle. Now we wanna take some duct tape so nothing leaks out. And all we have to do is just pour that mixture back into the bottle. Pop this into the fridge for a few hours. A few hours later, we have Coke jelly. Now we just have to take it out of the bottle, which could be a little tricky, but not that hard. Just be very gentle here, guys. Boom. And we didn't completely nail it. That doesn't matter because it's all about what it tastes like. It tastes exactly how you imagine Jello Coca-Cola. This next one, I'm super excited about. We're gonna be making Coke can chicken. All we're gonna season our chicken with is some salt and pepper. Okay, after half of it is drank, we're now gonna place our chicken on top of the can. Be careful because it's top heavy, but I'm gonna throw this into a 350-degree oven for about 1.5 hours. See you in 1.5 hours, buddy. While we wait for that, let's move on to the next recipe. It's time to make Coca-Cola pulled pork. All we have to do with the pulled pork is season it with some salt and your favorite barbecue rub. Of course, this wouldn't be a Coca-Cola pulled pork without Coca-Cola. Now I'm just gonna cover this and throw this onto the stove at medium-low heat for about 3 to 4 hours. Oh, 2.5 hours later, our pulled pork is finally ready. Nice pulled pork here, look at that. Now we're gonna take a nice brioche bun, place our pulled pork right in there, some barbecue sauce, just a tiny bit of that Coca-Cola syrup, some pickles. I can't believe we just made Coca-Cola pulled pork sandwich. Cheers. I think adding that Coca-Cola syrup on top definitely pushed it to taste more like a Coca-Cola pulled pork sandwich. It's absolutely delicious. About an hour and a half later, our can of Coke chicken is ready. Look at that bird. Wow. Hour and a half in the oven, all that Coke should have infused into the chicken. Oh. Of course, you have that hint of Coke, but I think the sweetness from the Coke definitely made the chicken a little sweeter. This is actually a very interesting experience I'm having right now. This next one, I'm looking forward to a lot because we're making Coca-Cola braised short ribs. Some olive oil, and we're gonna take our short ribs and just sear it to get a crust. While it's searing, I'm gonna go ahead and season it with some salt and pepper. This is exactly the crust I'm going for right here. Seared, we're gonna remove the meat from the pot, chopped up celery, carrots, and onions. 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. And now we're just simply gonna put the meat right back on top of those veggies. Coca-Cola. We're gonna fill it up until we cover our meat and just a little bit of beef broth. Cover this and let this sit for about 2 hours. Next, we're gonna be making Coca-Cola deviled eggs. We're gonna take 3 hard-boiled eggs and we're gonna gently remove that egg yolk and toss into a bowl. Mayo, Coca-Cola syrup, and 1 teaspoon of mustard. Of course, you could use a spoon to put it onto your egg, but we went ahead and put it into a piping bag to make it that much more special. I can't believe we just made Coca-Cola deviled eggs. I was really questioning this recipe, but it's not bad at all. It's a great combination. I can't believe this actually worked. 3 hours later, it's dark outside. Our Coca-Cola short ribs are ready. We've gotta make the sauce, and it's actually really easy to make. Let me show you how. Coca-Cola broth and run it through a strainer. Now we're gonna take all that beautiful juice, toss that into a pan, and reduce this down into a nice thick sauce. We're just like condensing the flavor into like this beautiful caramelized goodness. I can't believe we made Coca-Cola braised beef. Cheers. Right off the bat. Woo! That is a strong Coca-Cola flavor. I would pay $675.48 for this dish. That's how delicious this is. For our final dish, this is something we're gonna wanna take to Thanksgiving. We're gonna be making Coca-Cola sweet potato casserole. 2 whole boiled sweet potatoes. Give that a good mash. 1/2 cup of melted butter, brown sugar, 1/2 cup of Coca-Cola. Now we're just gonna pop this into a 350-degree oven for about 25 minutes. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. I'm excited to take a dip into this one, but take a listen to the top of the marshmallow. Oh, cheers. I'm gonna go surprise my family.